into a next whole segment here, which the same model, the Pigskin 5000, predicted the schedule. Now, I will argue, it's much better or was much more successful at predicting games. It was 9-0 throughout the playoffs. It was pretty spot on. And even for the Ohio State Notre Dame game, predicted Ohio State to win by, I think, like 7 points. So I followed that and I bet the spread, right? Because of course, show's brought to you by BetUS. So I said, let's take an opportunity here and let's make some money here and use the Pigskin 5000 to take advantage of it. And with that last field goal, I lost the bet. If that didn't happen, look, that's part of the game, right? But we're talking that's gambling, right? That's Vegas. That's how close it is. So I had the bet right because it also had Ohio State winning. So I took Ohio State to win the first half plus Notre Dame points because I think they got like 9 points. And the fact that he had Ohio State winning by 7, he was like, "Hey, I would take the points here." I go, "Yeah, I agree." And it almost happened up until the last second. I think that was again kind of more of a fluke play. They should have got the stop and had an opportunity to score, and they got burned. The breakdown that it has for these games, so you can see just how close some of these really are. And it's again, I think a lot of us, and myself included, think playoff or bust for the Florida Gators, and we'll see how we can get there. I know we don't play Temple week 1. I forgot to change it. I didn't have Long Island in my bag of logos for sports here. So first 2 games we get W's. No need to talk about those scores. So obviously, they're pretty handle wins there for Florida. 65-0 and 43-13 week 1 and 2. Then we go on the road to LSU. This, in my opinion, is going to be a tough game early on the road. LSU team, we just saw where they sat in the power rankings, whether you agree with it or not. I think LSU is going to be primed for a good year next year. Side bit, there was a list that came out for hot seats. Napier was on it once again. Few names that were not on the list that I was surprised on. 3 that I thought, which is a side topic, but I just wanted to throw it out there. Mike Norvell, but I think cost was a big issue. Lincoln Riley's not on that list. And you can almost, Brian Kelly's been plus 500, but kind of just been lollygagging around with the talent they've had. You got to think, if they kind of have a blunder of, he's on the hot list. Am I crazy? Big reach?
Oh, no, he's definitely on the hot list.
That's right, yeah.
I shake my head every time I hear the names. He drives me nuts.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Another win in football games.
I hate that guy. He's the worst overrated coach I've ever seen. Dude's a bum.
Yeah, I feel like he walks into beautiful situations and almost just kind of just lives off of whatever. Anyways, LSU, the model's got us losing 30-21. Now, obviously, this model can change week 1 and week 2. LSU blunders a little bit. Florida looks good. It could get closer, right? This is all pre-emptive. Then going to Miami, it has us losing 27-34, which I'm not a fan of. And he even said, I asked me, look, I think we could go and win on the road against Miami, but Miami has proven to do well at home. That's why the model favors Miami here. But I think all of us feel, hey, Florida can get it done. And he even said, hey, I disagree with the model here. And Ty, you said you disagree with him as well in a few games. This show is, of course, brought to you by BetUS. And right now, when you use the code YouTube150 at BetUS.com, you get 150% back on your first deposit, then $125 on your next 2. And with the football playoffs, college football championships and playoffs happening, and then March Madness right around the corner, there is not a better time right now than to sign up for BetUS.com and use that code to maximize your return. Check it out, BetUS.com. Use the code YouTube150. Now back to the show. Get after it. Texas game, it has it by 1 point. Us winning 28-27. And this game does feel like that. I feel like it could be a toss-up game. I think they are taking a step back. They're losing, like you said with Oregon, they're losing a lot of talent to the NFL. Now, they've recruited out of their ass for the last 2 years, right? So that's a big factor as well. And, of course, Arch Manning, the model's very high on him, as everybody is. But this is good. You got the home field advantage in the Swamp. I think that plays a huge factor on why it feels that Florida gets the edge here. Then you go on the road to A&M. Has us losing 23-28. Again, a close one. That could go either way. 5 points. Roll in Mississippi State. Then Georgia has us losing 28-27. So this is like that Texas game. It has it as a toss-up, and I agree. That game, given the circumstances, what it is, where it's at, it's anybody's ball game. It really just depends on what you're doing when you roll into that game. Kentucky, I think Kentucky takes a just tremendous step back. Even this game's on the road, it has us winning. Has us losing on the road to Ole Miss. Look, Ole Miss going to be a tough place to play. Austin Simmons, you've been high on Austin Simmons, Swolder. I don't think that team takes too much of a step back, and that was a close game last year, and it has it 28-30. So, real quick, there are 2 losses that we just discussed, right? LSU and Miami were 2 big ones. I think Miami is a definitely winnable game. That puts us at 8. Georgia is a winnable game. It's 1 point spread. That's 9. Ole Miss, it's a 2 point spread. There's 10. Because I think on the road, A&M, I think that's going to be a tough game. I think LSU is going to be a tough game too. But there's 3 games here on this list that are very winnable and easy to overturn. And even the model doesn't have it too much of a spread. Dave, and I kind of went off a little bit of a tangent there, but I'll let you go and then I'll pass the buck to you, Ty.
Yeah, it's going to sound crazy, but when you look at all the teams that are on the list, I think every game for Florida next year is winnable if they can get their, you know what, together. And if the defense continues what they started at the end of the season, I can see Florida being in every one of these matchups here. I mean, look, you got LSU. Obviously, they're going to be. I think they're going to be the toughest, just talent wise, just based on what they brought in from portal and what they brought in from high school. Miami, I think they take a step back. Carson Beck's not Cam Ward. He's coming off a serious injury as well too. How does he perform coming off of that? They're still returning their offensive line, as I said. They're replacing some guys in the backfield. They did that in the portal. You miss a lot of your wide receivers. They recruited really well at wide receiver, but those guys aren't experienced as well. I think you go into Texas, as you said, they lost a lot of guys to the NFL too, but they reload. I think you can pull that game off. Whether it's a win or an L, I think the game will be close, depending on turnovers and everything like that. And then you got A&M. I think A&M. I thought we should have beat them last year, especially with the backup quarterback. You know, it just the adjustments that they didn't make at the beginning of the season. I wish they would have made. But I think you can win that one. Mississippi State, obviously, that one. Georgia, that's going to be a tough one, depending on how the new quarterback performs as the season goes on. But you know, they're struggling. I mean, who do they got as a backup? I can't even. I don't even know who they have as a
They
backup
have Ryan
quarterback.
Montgomery from this year and Ryan Puglasi from he came in last year. That's
That's
their next two, both two Ryans.
That's true. There's no experience there either. I mean, you
No.
you lose some guys, you bring some guys in. Georgia always reloads. Always be a tough one there in Jacksonville.
Look,
Kentucky,
Georgia
I see it as a W.
trench wise, they're not reloading like you think. They just hit that.
Right.
You
Oh,
were
yeah.
tweeted it today. The offensive lineman that they got that hit a 5th star coming into this year
Yeah.
was their first 5-star offensive lineman since 2021. And the guys they're losing a lot of the guys on the offensive line. They're losing their entire defensive line. They're revamping, but not revamping like the Georgia has in the past. And there's obviously been a huge question mark on the development side from their coaches. So look, it's
Yeah. I mean, what was that?
opportunity is time to strike now, which we've been saying all season anyways, or all off
I
season
think that's
thus far anyways.
Yeah, I mean, and they're losing Malachi Starks, they're losing Jalen Walker, they're losing Michael Williams. I mean, they're losing some talent. So I mean, you do have a chance in that game. Kentucky, I would say W. I think you got a chance in every game. Now, Ole Miss, like Austin Simmons, I'm really high on him. I think he is a really pro style, good, one of the best pro style passers I've seen coming out of high school. Now, can he put it together at Ole Miss? We'll have to see. But I think that one's going to be really tough just based on quarterback play. Tennessee, I'm not really high on Nico. We should have really beat them last year. I mean, like just considering where we were at and the blunders that we had with turnovers and everything like that, really just kind of it really just kind of put a damper in that game. You should have really won it. And then of course Florida State's going to be Florida State. So
Yeah, I mean it has us beaten Tennessee, and I think that's why as well because it's at home, and I think that's the advantage for us on that one. I'm trying to get Ty back in.
yeah, it
There
looked
he
like
is.
it looked like Ty was having some issues with his audio or something. Something went
Yeah,
out on that
there's
end.
an alien taking over. What do you think about the list, Ty?
Oh yeah, sorry, I had a little malfunction there. My bad.
Okay.
There's a couple games that come to mind when I want to sit here and look at this, and one is LSU and one is Miami. Those are the two that like really catch my eye because I think now I get it is in Death Valley. I just don't believe in Brian Kelly. I will continue to say this, and I've been saying it all year. I said it all year last year. What happens with LSU with Brian Kelly is they play so soft. Uh, that team is not nowhere near as physical as they used to be. And if you go look at the Notre Dame team this year compared to what Brian Kelly was before, like what you saw from Notre Dame was a physical team. Now they weren't as talented as Ohio State, and you could see it. You could see it on the field, but you could see they played with physicality and they bodied guys and they were trying to. And you go back and when you watch LSU play football, they
Soft.
get run over. It
Soft.
is insane to me how bad they look physicality wise. I think Florida can absolutely go in there and body those guys and run the football and win the game. They got a lot of talent at running back. You know, you got Jackson, and you got guy. I love Jaden Blue.
Ball.
Blue, right? Ball, Jaden Ball. Sorry, for some reason I wanted to say Jaden Blue, and I don't know why. But Jaden Ball. I mean, that dude to me, he's patient. He always falls forward. He never falls backwards. And against LSU, he's going to fall forward because LSU they would let me fall forward. I mean, that's how unphysical they are. Like, I mean, and
Hey,
then when you
look,
look at Miami,
they got Gidry,
no,
man.
go ahead, go ahead.
I said best defensive
It,
coordinator in the nation. They got Gidry.
listen, it's I don't know. It's got to be something with Kelly. We'll figure it out, but we'll see. As Miami, I'm not a Carson Beck fan. I will never be a Carson Beck fan. I said he was overrated last year. Everyone kind of thought I was crazy, and then everyone saw that he was overrated. And then I think he should have came out this year because he's going to take a step even farther back to where he might not even get drafted. Uh, I think Miami has a complete downfall. I don't think Miami is anywhere close to where they are, and they're definitely not number 5 like they got them ranked. The Texas A&M to me could be a very physical, run the football kind of game. I could see it going either way. And then you sit there and you look at Georgia. That's a rivalry game. Who knows? Um, and the Ole Miss game, I would put you favored against Ole Miss. You know, if Ole Miss is in there, you got Lane Kiffin who will blow it regardless. So, I mean, I definitely feel like you could win that game. So, like, I could see anywhere from 2 L's to 4 L's, but I definitely don't see 5. So, I definitely feel 8 wins and 6.5 wins in Vegas seems like pretty sure bet to me.
Take the over then. Most importantly, I think all of us agree on that. Rookie $5 says we are going to own the stadium the U rents next year. I'm hoping. I'm feeling like we should. $5. I'm looking to go to that game. We'll see how all things pan out. And then Brendan said, "Oh, here we go again." He's a certified Jaden Ball hater. So anytime there's any type of love for Jaden Ball, Brendan just gets absolutely in shambles about it. That's just kind of where he sits on it. So I gotta call him out on that. But good stuff on that. I do want to bring up. We're not going anywhere. Be sure to smash the like button, though, boys and girls, and subscribe. Good to see everybody here on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon.